And we are back, and we just finished watching 2017's Thoroughbreds, rated R, with a runtime of 1 hour and 32 minutes. This film is written and directed by Cory Finley, and stars Olivia Cooke as Amanda and Anya Taylor-Joy as Lily, two, I guess, bored Connecticut teens who reconnect after, I guess, drifting apart. Amanda has an episode which kind of ostracizes her in her social circles. And I guess Lily takes that opportunity to rekindle their friendship, but for nefarious reasons.
I don't think that's how it started.
Okay.
Because Lily did not know that Amanda was a sociopath in the beginning of the movie. She discovered that. Mm-hmm. And when she discovers that, she figures, I could use this to my advantage.
Right.
Because Lily is a psychopath.
What'd you think?
I didn't really care for this one.
No.
No, I was. It was a very, very slow.
I agree with you that the beginning is very slow. I was actually shocked when I saw on IMDb that it was 1 hour and 32 minutes. It felt longer.
It did feel a lot longer.
It felt closer to 2 hours, but it wasn't, which is very bizarre. I think the pacing at the beginning is very rough, but towards the end it picks up, and
it picks up towards the end. But by then,
you'd already checked out.
I kind of checked out. Also, I just didn't really. I don't know. I didn't enjoy any of the characters. None of them interested in me. I thought Anton Yelchin was kind of wasted in his role. I felt like his part in the entire movie was pointless.
I wonder if it was affected by his death.
Like maybe he had a bigger role to play? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, you never know how films are shot. And you said this was his last thing.
Sort of. I mean, he has other things in IMDb after this, but this was released after his death. He died in 2016, and this was released in 2017.
Do you know when it was filmed?
I don't.
Like when filming wrapped?
I don't. I don't think they tell you on IMDb.
Because, I mean, if like they got everything that they needed from him in this movie, then yeah, I stand by it. His part was pretty pointless. Yeah, you wanna, I guess you wanna feel sympathy for certain characters, but not in this movie. I guess I felt some sympathy for Amanda. Because even though
I think of all the characters, she was my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, even though she had no feelings of her own, and she's basically going through life faking it.
Mm-hmm. She was the most truest character.
She was honest, and you could see, she didn't mind how the film ended.
Right.
It was
she was willing to sacrifice herself for her friend.
She was willing to do that after she hears like that. When her friend basically confesses what her idea was, you'd think, oh, well, I guess she'll just leave.
Yeah.
But no, she's like,
all right,
cool with it.
Yeah. Terrible.
So, yeah.
Lily was the most loathsome character.
Yeah, because I got to be honest, I just didn't understand what the hell her problem was. But
with
then
Mark.
Again, you're dealing with a psychotic there. I mean, seriously,
she definitely
she had some mental issues that were, I guess, not diagnosed. Although I'm guessing there was some kind of incident that got her expelled from
Andover,
from that whatever school she was in.
Yeah.
Did they say what it was? It was plagiarism or something, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't even that bad. I don't know. It just didn't click with me. I gotta be honest. It makes sense that this film wasn't really released in a theater or anything, because
I think it was. It just wasn't like.
I had never heard of this movie until I saw it on HBO Max.
Really? I could swear I heard of it.
Nah, I've never heard of this movie. Yeah, it just didn't work for me.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, I thought Amanda's performance was good.
I mean, Anya Taylor-Joy's
performance was good.
It's just
I just didn't get the story. The story was not good.
The story wasn't strong. It probably. Yeah. I mean, what could have made it better? Maybe make Mark more of a jerk, where you're.
You know what? But then it doesn't really play into the whole thing that Lily is nuts.
Right.
I mean, I think that was the journey we were on, discovering that in the beginning you think, oh, Amanda's the broken really person. Crazy person.
Right. But in fact, it's actually Lily who's the person who's like even worse, because even though Amanda is the way she is, she's functional. She's working with everything, and she would be fine if the incident with the horse didn't happen. And the incident with the horse shows that explained it. She actually
she explained it, and basically it shows that there is a bit of humanity in her.
Yeah.
It's just a very matter of fact. Like, she didn't want the horse to suffer. Right. But ended up making it way worse and way more grisly and horrible. And
then she becomes ostracized.
When people found out about it, it was just like, this girl is nuts.
Right.
And she's like in trouble with the law for animal cruelty, and her motives were pure.
Yeah.
She didn't want to just butcher a horse like that. Mm-hmm. But the horse was dying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what bothers me about it. I didn't want Amanda to get taken advantage of like that by somebody who's psychotic. Mm-hmm. I would rather have the psychotic person. And we all want justice in the end.
Sure.
Especially in our entertainment.
But it's interesting because, like you mentioned, Amanda was fine kind of paying the price, because to her, she didn't have any feelings about anything.
Well, I think that's sort of like the thing that really shows how psychotic Lily is, because Lily says, why do you even exist?
Yeah.
Like,
have you thought about killing yourself?
Because you don't really care about anything anyway. So what's the point?
Right.
And she's like, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, yeah, I mean, she could just be a doormat for everybody, because she just doesn't care.
Right.
Lily used that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I feel like. I mean, I think Lily was... I don't agree. I think from the beginning, I think Lily used the fact that maybe she wasn't aware of... Or maybe she was. I'm sure the mother said stuff to her in the emails. So Lily was aware of what was going on with Amanda. And I think that she also used that to her advantage. She manipulated... I mean, at least to me, my interpretation was that she manipulated everything from the get. She was super pissed off when Tim didn't come through, to the point where, like, even Amanda's like, oh, should we murder him too?
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting that she kept saying we, right? Because it felt like in the beginning that Lily was like trying to get someone else to do it, 'cause she didn't want to get her hands dirty.
Well, he always wanted to get somebody else to do it.
And then she finally gets presented with this opportunity and takes advantage of it, but then screws her quote unquote friend, which I found reprehensible.
Well, I think the way I see it, Lily was psychotic.
Yes, agreed.
I don't know if it had to do with her father's death. I don't know what it was, if it was always there, but she was psychotic. When she gets that piece of information from Amanda that I don't feel anything.
Right. It triggers something in her, you could tell.
It basically opens her eyes, because at that point she realizes, I don't have to hide
who I am.
Right. I could say whatever I want. I could do whatever I want in front of this person, because they legitimately don't care.
Right.
And it's sort of like, I guess, a floodgate opens, and now my behavior is going to become even more deranged. And you know what? Maybe I want to actually kill my stepdad.
Right. Well, I think it was also interesting because at one point, that exchange that Mark and Lily have in the kitchen, right? Where he's basically telling her off, like, after I pay for your college, I'm done with you. I don't want to have anything else to do with you. And when Amanda comes back into the room, she basically says, well, empathy's not really your strong suit. So it's almost like it almost felt like Amanda knew
What?
Knew that Lily was deranged, and she was fine with it. And then towards the end, when Lily tells her what she's gonna do, she just like downs the drink and is like, okay, this is how it's gonna happen. And she was fine with it. Where I would feel like used, and like you said, like I would get the hell out of there.
Yeah. And another thing that bothered me was, I got to be honest, I don't know how the hell that plan would have worked anyway. It just didn't make sense. It was a stupid plan, and somehow it worked flawlessly.
I guess because Amanda already had a reputation.
Even if she had a reputation, the amount of blood that was on each of them was a huge difference. And two, only one of them had a drug in their system.
But maybe she wasn't tested.
That does, yeah, but I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Because at the end, when she's talking to Tim, it seems like she woke up screaming, like, oh my God, what did you do? What did you do?
Yeah, it still doesn't. It seems like such a stupid, half-baked plan. It just really does. I don't know. I didn't like this movie.
Okay, fair enough. Did I ask you what you thought could have made it better? I did. And what did we come up with? Nothing.
Nothing really. It's just maybe if Tim had a more prominent role or a more effective role in the movie.
Well, you know what? I think take him out entirely because.
Well, that's the problem. His role was useless. He didn't need to be there.
No.
But both your leads are deranged.
So you sort of need that straight man.
You need somebody in there who is like the conscience that's saying, "Oh no, this is a terrible idea. Don't do this."
Well, he does do that.
Tim sort of does that, but it's so ineffective and inconsequential, and it's like when you get introduced to his character, it's like, okay, well they're using this guy to build up to something,
right?
And then it's like.
But again, it could have been because he passed. I mean, I don't know what the original script was, but
yeah, I don't know.
And I guess out of respect for him, maybe he didn't take the scenes out. But as a storyteller, I would have removed Anton completely from the script and then focused it more on Lily and Amanda.
Yeah, but honestly, then you would have had to drag things out even more.
Possibly.
I mean, the pacing was already garbage to begin with. But now you have several scenes worth of time where you have to fill it with what? More of them basically just talking about nothing?
Well, no, I think what you do is you show how Mark makes Lily crazy. Maybe you make him more.
I don't think Mark made her crazy. I think she was just.
I think
crazy
in her.
To begin with.
Well, no, I agree with you. I think she was crazy to begin with, but I think also she didn't like Mark and she wanted him gone. She to me,
he was replacing her dad.
Right, and to me, she seemed like the kind of person that once she got something in her head, that was it. Right, like I don't even think she was a big fan of her mother.
No. I mean, her mother made things probably worse by being
such a doormat,
absent and ineffective.
Yeah,
I don't even know if honestly, did the mother and Mark have like a weird abusive relationship? It didn't feel like it. It felt like they liked each other
for the most part. But there was that scene where she's trying to be what's the word I'm looking for? She's being attentive to him, and he gets bent out of shape about it.
Oh, that because he got hurt.
Right.
Yeah, there's that.
So, I mean, it could be. I mean, you don't know. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm assuming that the filmmaker didn't want to take Anton out because he was originally part of the story. But I get the impression that Anton was supposed to have a bigger role in this. But because he passed away in real life, that kind of had to maybe be reformatted. That would make sense because I agree with you. I think that his character is kind of superfluous at that point. But if I was the storyteller, I probably would have removed him. I would have made Mark a bigger jerk. I would have kind of hidden the fact that Lily was psychotic till the end. You wouldn't see that until the end. And redo the story that way. So that it's almost like a gotcha. Like, oh, you think that Amanda's the one that's going to talk Lily into doing this thing. But basically all along, Lily's been sort of puppeteering all the events around her. And then the ending would have made sense because she's sort of going over things.
I don't know. I'm checked out. I didn't like this movie.
All right, fair enough.
4.
Wow, really?
I didn't like it. It's below average, so I'm giving it a 4.
Wow.
It's not good. It's not awful. It's not the classic Birdemic, but it's not a good movie. It's below average, so 4.
I didn't dislike it as much as you. I mean, it wasn't the best thing I ever saw, and it definitely needed work, but I thought the performances were strong. It was a decently edited and shot movie.
I agree. I mean, the performances were good. It's just the story was terrible. The story sucked. It was a bad story, and
the story was
great
weak.
Performances are not going to make up for a bad story. It begins and ends with story.
Sure. I don't know that it was that bad, though. I mean, I think if I was going to give it a number between 1 and 10, I think I would give this a 6. I thought it was interesting.
6 to me is an okay film.
I thought it was okay. I mean, it was interesting. The idea behind it was interesting. The performances were really good. Again, the editing, the cinematography, the costuming, the locations, all of that worked fine. It's just the story was weak. And again, you're right. It does start and end with story. But here I felt like, even though it wasn't a strong story, I think other components kind of upped it in a sense. But I agree. I think that this definitely could have used work. I think that if the filmmaker kept the Tim character in out of respect for Anton, while admirable, it sort of hurt his story. I mean, if it was me in his shoes, I probably would have removed all of the stuff with Tim, fleshed out the relationship between Amanda and Lily a little bit more, made Mark a bigger jerk, kind of hid the fact that Lily was a freak show, and let it be like a surprise towards the third act of the film that she's been kind of manipulating all these scenarios from the jump. But that's just me.
Yeah, I don't think it worked at all. If Tim was supposed to have a bigger role, but it couldn't have been done because of
Anton's death in real life.
I think that it just crippled it. It crippled the story. And
no, I agree. But that's what I'm saying. Then you remove that, and you
I know, but the problem is you remove that, you're removing an aspect of the story that can't be removed for the story to work. As far as like building the relationship between the two girls, the relationship was fine between the two girls. It was built. Nothing really redeems it at that point. You need, it's missing an ingredient that just can't be added, and editing ain't gonna do it. It's just not good.
All right, fair enough. All right, you gave it a 4. I gave it a 6 or 6.5. I gave it a 6.
6.
Okay. All right. I guess proceed with caution here. You are against this.
I say skip it.
You say skip it. I don't know. It's not the worst thing. It's not the best thing. If you haven't seen it, I guess maybe check it out. But if you can watch something else, maybe watch something else.
This isn't worth it.
All right. I mean, I thought the performances by both Anya Taylor-Joy and Olivia
great performances
Cooke was really good.
Will not help a bad story.
All right.
And I don't know if this was I don't know if this was a good story ever, but if a big part of it had to be removed because of his death, it's not going to get any better. The story just gets worse. It's like, okay, we took a weak story and now it's crippled. And seriously, good performances aren't going to save that.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. So ultimately skip this.
I say skip it. Absolutely. It's not good. It's not horrible, but it's not good. Go watch something that's good or at least average. Okay? This doesn't even reach average. This is just not good.
All right. Fair enough.
Go watch Paddington 2.
Yes. You can't go wrong with that. Even if you've already seen it.
That's what I'm going to say every time we watch a bad movie. Just go watch Paddington 2.
You know what?
Even if you've seen it already.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's even so better good. The second, third, fourth, fifth time.
20th time.
I love Paddington 2.
And I never not cry at the end when he says happy birthday, Aunt Lucy.
Such a good movie.
God damn it. That bear. I hope the next one's as good. I heard the director isn't coming back. At least that's what I heard. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, honestly, you have a high bar to clear if you want to make
those
a movie.
First two movies were good. That first one was great, but the second one was even better.
Yeah.
Who's gonna top Phoenix Buchanan for Christ's sake?
Good Lord.
I don't know. It would be funny though.
Love that.
It would be funny though if it was Colin Firth.
Because of the
because
bench.
Of the bench remark, which was hilarious. Who knew?
Maybe we get Jason Statham in there.
He's another one. He's good at comedy. He doesn't do it enough.
Paddington gets pulled in on a heist or something.
Yeah. That would be funny.
Anyway.
All right. Unless Knuckles in real life son Donald Gleason gets in there.
Yeah, there you go.
I bet you he'd be better at that than Peter Rabbit. You know, how the hell did he get roped into that?
Honestly, Donald Gleason was not the problem in Peter Rabbit.
I know.
It was Peter
Goddamn
Rabbit. That thing should have been killed. I love rabbits. They're cute. They're cuddly. We have one. God damn that Peter Rabbit. He was the worst. I was rooting for Farmer McGregor to just blow his head off. Anyway. Let's say good night.
All right, that's it from us, and we will bid you all a good night.
Good night.